Hello, everybody. I wasn't gonna do another video. I just gave up because my videos don't go anywhere, and I know why. Because I hold the truth, and I'm gonna tell it to you here. I'm gonna try and be as concise as I can with my experiences with my deceased son. And it goes hand in hand with what the social media is putting out there. But for some reason, I'm not able to comment on anybody else's video now. Because I would tell them to do the opposite of what they are suggesting. They're suggesting you don't go to the light, right? And um, in these insomnia type videos where they tell stories, alien type stories, about the national forests. Remember, I was telling you that I was guided to watch a lot of national forest videos about people going missing, and started with Missing 411, for example. Well, that brought me to my deceased son, because my first encounter with the spiritual world, which I didn't know existed because I'm a Christian, was a very vivid dream that I cannot forget. And when you have a dream like that, you can pretty much count on it being real. A real experience of some kind. By the way, what you're looking at here in front of you is I am in hospice care. I am fairly certain I won't be around a lot longer. And so I just have all my, comfort right here. It's hot milk. It's cold in this room. I'm at hypo. I took my temperature, and I'm at 35.8. That's up because I'm taking the hot milk. It's at 35. This hypothermia. It's not good. So it's a low temperature. And my hands and feet are numb. I've lost my sense of smell, my sense of taste, and my face is numb. It's like my hands and feet are freaking no circulation at all. So I know I'm checking out here. And so I put myself in hospice care. I have my walker now. I can get around better. And my landlord went and got me some Gravell pills because I'm very nauseous. Anyway, back to my experiences. I just want you to know that I don't lie, and I won't tell you anything that is untrue. I don't have anybody, I don't take money, you know. And that's a risky thing to do, because then you gotta please people, right? And I don't please people a lot of times. But let me get back to my story. I was watching one tonight, and I thought, "Oh my god." No, I watched 2 of them, and I thought, oh, I'm getting it now. I'm starting to understand why I'm guided to see these insomnia stories about people just disappearing out of the blue, right? And, um, so it brought me to my first dream, which was very vivid. I was there, like, I know my spirit was there. Like, at night, I don't think our spirits sleep. Honestly, I don't, because what the hell? We can't sleep. Like, our bodies need sleep. We don't. So we gotta separate the two because we're spirits here to have a human experience. We're not humans having a spiritual experience. We are actually fucking spirits. And so I found myself, like, my son just died, right? Trapped in flames, even in Edmonton. And he had just moved there 2 weeks before. And, um, I only had one son, one child. And this was impossible for me to accept that he was dead. And my spirit went to where he was. It was in another dimension. And it's like I went through a portal, and it was a swampy area. It was dim, very, very dim, like dark. And there was all this fog around the bottom of you know, the swamp. It looked like a swamp with fog coming off the swamp, about knee deep, because I saw all these kids. And Trevor was standing there. He was 9, but he died when he was 25. But there he was, 9. And all these other kids were around the same age. And suddenly, a yellow school bus came driving up, and the doors opened. I was watching all this, and my mouth gaped open, like, what the hell? And all these kids started piling up into this bus. And Trevor went, and I went running up to the door of the bus and was banging on the door saying, "Can I come?" And Trevor was by a window, and I went running around to the window where he was, and I said, "Can I come?" And he wouldn't look at me. Not looking at me at all. He was kind of unhappy and just going. So there he went. And I went back to my body, I guess. So that was experience number 1 with my deceased son. And then all of a sudden, there was all this experience going on with my electricity at home. And like lamps would suddenly turn on or off, and TVs would do funny things would turn on the TV, like Okay, Trevor and I used to really laugh at East Indian music. Like, we hated it. Hated the East Indian music. It was something we would laugh about together. Well, the TV would turn on to this East Indian music. And then one day, I was just introduced to, I didn't even know I had a granddaughter. Trevor didn't either until January. He died June 28th, 2003. And she was born in July 11th, 2000. She was a millennial, a direct, like, born in 2000. We didn't know until 2003. So I didn't know until Easter 2003, and Trevor died June 28th. So not a lot of time with my granddaughter. And, but there, he had just died, and I'm like, can see this little girl needs me. And I often babysat her until I took her right away from her mother. I often looked after her. So there I was, tucking her into my bed, and I have a vanity in the master bedroom, big, huge mirror, and um, she was looking at the mirror behind me, and she said, "Who's the man in the mirror?" And I went, "Oh, yeah." So anyway, I had all those experiences for until 2008. Like, I knew it was Trevor, and my family wrote me off as batshit crazy. I did too, half the time. Like, you gotta doubt yourself, but, after I moved, I got divorced. I was leaving my ex because I feel like my son was encouraging me to get the hell out of the house. And I did. Like, I felt the man was dangerous, but there was no evidence. He was very covert narcissist, my ex. I was married for 20 years. He married me when Trevor was 4. But anyway, so in 2008, I was living on my own in my own condo in the Okanagan, and there the lights, it followed me everywhere, and even signs of you, I am your guardian angel, things like that pop up. So I knew I was surrounded by the spiritual world, and I pretty much kept it to myself, but for the most part. But I was reading all these books about the afterlife, and I had joined Grieving Parents retreats all around North America, like in Chilliwack, British Columbia, at a river where a woman lost 3 kids, one to accident, one to suicide, and one to murder. Can you believe it? Her name was Sherry, and she had a retreat in Chilliwack, British Columbia, for grieving parents to go, called the Garden of Tears. You can go look that up. She is long gone now. She's dead or gone, whatever. But I went all around North America to retreats. I needed to be around people that I could talk to, you know, because to everybody in my family, he was dead, right? Dead to them, but not dead to me. And so, and I read hundreds of books, and about 10% of grieving parents experience what I experience. So, signs and messages circulate around. So, in 2008, I was getting concerned that he was earthbound, right? And I sat down and spoke out loud. And you can do this too if you've got dead people around you. Even if you don't, you do, because you're just dense, that's all. But um, you can talk out loud and use your heart too, your tears, or your real feelings, because they know them. They can read your thoughts and your feelings when they cross over. Nothing's hidden from them. That haunts a lot of people. Really, it does. People aren't what they say they are. So, um, and they lie. They lie about their feelings. They're unrecognizable to the ones that cross over. Like, what? What? It's kind of a shocker. And so there's a lot of hauntings that go on. And, but I knew it wasn't anything to fear. I didn't fear my son at all. Didn't fear anything in my experiences. I love him. And I know he's not a demon of any kind, right? He's not a demon. He's my son. And so everybody's fucking afraid, right? You're putting yourself in goddamn fear all the time. You can't even swear. You can't make a move around here without somebody telling you to stop it, right? You can't smoke. You can't blah blah blah. But I'm I'm just telling you, this is my channel of my experiences, and apparently I'm allowed to do that. But my videos don't go anywhere because people don't share me. That's why. Because you fear that you're going to look like a nut like I am to you. To you. Well, um, I got news for you. Because what happened was, when I sat down and spoke out loud to Trevor to go wherever he can find a frickin' light, to go to it, go to the light, because I was afraid that he was earthbound here. And so it turned out to be. He was. Because he was suddenly gone. There was no more experiences. I had an angel appear in my steering wheel in 2011, but that was about it. But it saved my freaking life because it happened again with my granddaughter. Uh, uh, through me, she met a monster, right? And I just had to end it violently on the highway, and nope, nope. So there was an angel in that steering wheel in July 2011, because I'm sick of being responsible, you know, for everything. I always felt responsible for everything and everyone all the freaking time. I was always of a guilty mind, right? Shame on you, shame on you. And this is really bad, right? And so, and I only knew at that time unconsciously about Trevor with Gary targeting me. I didn't know. He never said. And it just was obvious after 2016, which was my big experience. And that is when the beings of light came to my bedside at Copper Sky. I was by then living in the dream life in a resort type condominium I was renting for like 1,200 a month. It was very cheap for me. Um, where I was doing my clinical hypnotherapy practice at the Family Wellness Treatment Center. And I was living the dream, but I was getting very sick and I couldn't go to work anymore. And one of my clients bought my business because it was perfect for her. She was 70 and wanted to have something to do. And she went down and got her a hypnotist license too. So she came, I gave her 5 sessions. That's what got her hooked. And then she went down and got her training. And then she came up and paid me $22,000 for it, which paid my rent until, the following year. Well, no, in 2017 I was still there. But I had a traumatic experience happen after the beings of light came and Trevor. So what happened there was I was lying in my king-size bed playing with my new kitten I named Truly. I already had Gracie. Uh, Cats are a significant part of my son's horror life with me because I had his cats put down and I didn't like them. And I'm sorry about that, guys. You just got to know that about me, that I was a very head set woman. And I was raised around tough love, you know, and that's the grooming we got for treating ADHD. Like, we were horrible parents, I swear to God. And I was the worst. I was a military mother. And my son, that was the last thing my son needed. He needed a lot of love. And I wasn't there, right? But there these beings of light were downloading me with his story, and it was a horror show. And the man I married was a monster, wasn't even freaking human, right? And yeah, so this is bad, right? Very, very bad for people. Um, but my point in having to do this video is, oh, and by the way, after they downloaded me with the whole history of the world, we gotta know there is no time, like no such thing as time. Like, that's why there's glitches in our matrix or a parallel universes type thing going on. But I'm not able to comment. And what these videos are doing is scaring the bejesus out of people with the light. Like it's like they're making it like it's bad. And, all these people with their mouths gaping open and seeing this horror thing in the sky, right? Looks like an alien ship, right? Um, and then only one person will, be like hypnotized and go to it and then be dead soon thereafter or missing. So that's how it goes. And that's what people are witnessing. People going missing like that, just disappearing out of nowhere. And I was watching them tonight, and I could see how they are scaring people from the light. And I'm not allowed to comment anymore. And what I want to tell anybody who is listening to me to go to the light, because you don't know anything. You think Jesus or Muhammad or Allah or some other geeky character is saving you in the second coming, right? And all your sins, go ahead and sin because they'll all be forgiven. But it's really here that you cannot trust. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not doing any action. Like I'm not going to start walking down the road and, being the fool like that. But if I see a light, I'm going to it. Yeah, you darn tootin' I am. Because I don't know uh, anything except darkness here. Like I've been treated like garbage all the way through. I was a witness, and I did not see a lot of humanity. And if you weren't abusive, you turned the other way, didn't want to look. Wouldn't look at anybody. You had to be a positive thinker. And or support somebody out of loyalty. That's the worst. That's a judge, that you're judging somebody to be all good when they could be a monster. And that's my story. And they were real monsters. They commit crimes against humanity, children. And to be blind to your kids is, well, it's judgment time. But it's going to be, people are going to be revealed for who they are. And you'll know. And it may not come in a good way, right? It may come out of the blue and surprise you. But if you have intuition, now would be a good time to pay attention to that, What I do is trust my vibes. I trust myself above all others. I have to trust my own heebie-jeebie feelings, right? I can't rely on anybody else's. You can't rely on anybody else's either. You know, you have to be aware of your surroundings. I guess that's all I have to say. I've just been in this hospice care. My landlady went and got me some Gravil because I've been nauseous, and it's not been good. It's not been good here. I'm sick, and I'm choosing not to get health care. So thanks for being here, and good luck, everybody.